Hello YouTubers, welcome back to some more Dominions 5. We are in turn 27. Don't hold me to that. I don't know. I lost track. Whatever. We will start going into the battles of this episode. Lots of stuff is happening in Emmerich. We are reclaiming a territory and nothing on the other side. We will encounter a noble. I don't want to show this. We managed to beat the noble in this case. Most of the times we beat the noble. We have had that one failed one. So here we have a smaller expansion army. This is with our dude with the scepter up against a decent amount of heavy cav. We've been through this before. We are unfortunately causing a lot of friendly fire here. It ends. We don't have any real archers here, so it's not that bad. Ooh, it's very loud. I hope you guys can hear me. Some of them flee, but most of them stay, and we do indeed rout the enemy. Get him. More people are routed? No, not on our side. Are we people? I'm not sure if we are still people. Former people. We lose a spectral commander, whatever. We took the territory, that's what matters, and in the promised land, we are being attacked, as we had predicted. This is Mr. Schneeente's expansion or territory reclaiming army, now with 6 chariots, exploiting the trample mechanic, and with a contingency of archers. We, on the other hand, do not have really anything. I think I bumped it up to PD 10 in here, but it won't matter. They get ramshackled. I hate the trample mechanic. I don't understand it. Anyway, it's a regular feature on the channel that we complain about the trample mechanic. The dragon shows up in the water, and I moved out of here very nicely. He puts up personal regeneration and is now adding Breath of Winter, which will not really help him. I predict, or I have come to the conclusion that he started by going to Conjuration 5, which I think is where he gets all those demonic summon thingies. So that's why he hasn't been casting any spells with his pretender at all, because he didn't have those spells, because he was focusing all his attention on the conjuration school. So now he's slowly increasing the amount of different spells he can do with the pretender. The Breath of Winter really doesn't matter. All of our ghosts are cold resistant, so they don't care. Is he flying underwater? No, he's not flying here. Okay, good to know. He's just moving around. He flew. He flew underwater. We're watching that again. Can amphibious creatures fly underwater? Is that what we're seeing? Yes, he flew. Interesting. I did not know that they could fly underwater. Here's Nifel. We are testing the throne in Nifel, and this is what we're up against. Just a bunch of Humies, and then we've got Phantasmal Warriors, which aren't that scary. They're poison resistant, but that doesn't really matter. Then we do have a Sorceress and another Sorceress with a lot of different gems. But notably, none of them are poison resistant, and none of them are Nature School. And I think our pretender, Manbird Dog, can easily take this throne without breaking a sweat. So that is our goal right now. We will try to get Manbird Dog onto the throne. That's going to be where he's headed. Yeah, we won't take it with ghosts. That's not going to be worth it. In Follothras. This is where we have some elephants, and I think my script for this is getting pretty good. We have 10 elephants in here, but they're all scripted to attack large monsters. Some of the Sacreds break formation a little bit, but she managed to fall out on the other side. Does she survive that? No, she's dead. But they sort of end up in the middle of the formation and are surrounded, and then they will be brought down by just being surrounded. We had enough, we had a critical mass, so they don't have a chance of surviving in that swarm of ghosts. And they trample through their own slinger formation. Not that really. The slingers don't really matter. I guess since we don't have any protection, the slingers can in fact hurt us a little bit. In Follow-Thras, we lose 8 units, but we claimed that territory. And then in the mountains of Evernight, we are also being, I would say, raided. And here, since it is my dominion, we have the Pretender, losing the Prophet in here, with a sword, swiftness, and a black steel kite shield. He's doing quite well for himself. He's blessed already. Did he bless himself here? No. Does he start blessed? Is he scripting divine blessing? Why did he start blessed? Does the Prophet start blessed? Maybe the Prophet start blessed. That may be a thing. I just don't remember. We don't really have anything on the other side, but all the archers is carrying the fight for him here, since he's not sending his warriors of the 5 elements forward or anything. So he's in fact melee attacking with the archers, which is kind of interesting. And he loses a few of those. Alright. That was the battles. Let's see, we actually found some magic sites, or at least one. We've finished researching conjuration level 3, mostly for summon earth power, which I think our pretender will also be casting, just for a little bit more protection and stuff. More regeneration. The invigoration is really nice. And in Niflheim has found a site in Baptizer. This is a coral statue that enables the recruitment of mermages. Which initially when I saw them, I was a little bit excited because I thought they had astral, but they don't have an astral random. So, and since it's just a little bit of a lake, we can't really move them out of there. Oh, they are they amphibian? They are amphibian. Ew. They are amphibian. Does that make them worth it? And the answer is no. But I suppose that is interesting. It's not worth building a fort in here over that, but it does give us 1 water gem per turn. So that is quite nice. Then that was the magic sites that we found. No, Manbeard Dog has also found a thing. Thornwood Heights is Nature 2. Enables recruitment of hedge wizards. Hedge wizards are cheap. That's all I've got to say about that. And then we are dancing. We get a spectral commander. Dancing. There is a festival, and we get Dominion -4. Oof, and growth +2. Where's this? Dominion -4. That's why we don't have Dominion here. Okay, that's unfortunate. And Faraway Sea, Misfortune +3. And a cursed unit. Oh well. And in Therodos, Death Gems +2. Fine. Worldwide event, more blood magic are cheaper, but who cares? And then we finished construction of Palisades in Jinport. Very nice. We killed brigands in Jinport. That's quite nice. And your undead and demonic troops in Follow-Thras are being struck by Holy Fire. And I think it would say here if we actually lost anything. So we didn't lose anything, but here, and that's of course unfortunate, but they will be somewhere on the map always, I think. So now we know that there's a magic site in here that causes us to take damage on undead. And we will not be moving. I have to make a mental note of this, but we shouldn't move undead in here ever again if we can avoid it. Yeah, it's not the end of the world, but it's of course not as fun because of that. Alright. So that's sort of the events for the turn, and this is our planned movement. Let's check it out. A few different things to note. Let's start with our gold expenditures. As of course we're doing new mages everywhere, and then we couldn't afford both a temple here. You know, in fact, if we stopped the Caballeros and the Milia, could we do a... Then we could probably do a lab down here, but what would it really get us? Then we could make more Milias that we apparently cannot afford. And here we can do, we're doing a temple. No, we're doing the lab first. Why? Why do we start with the lab? I think that is a bad choice. Not sure why I would start with a lab. We'll do the temple first, because we are sort of in a Dominion war. Wherever I have Dominion, I feel like I can move my pretender careful or without issues, and vice versa. So we will prioritize the temple to spread Dominion faster. Good. Then, oh, I noticed, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last episode. I think I did. Spread the deadly diseases here. This was in fact a bad location for a fort, thinking about it. But I kind of did want these death mages. So we will get them eventually. But we do have to move every living creature out, and we are doing that. None of them got deceased. One of the silly human troops got deceased. Oh well. But that doesn't matter. Alright, so all of these guys here, oh no, is going over here. And Chris Lighthawk is leaving because I don't want to call Spectres where we have Dominion Strength 1 when we have one over here that we have Dominion Strength 9. Also, I think from the Therodos, he can move all the way to Nifel. So I'm looking forward to having him here instead of... Well, can he move all the way to... Yeah, he can get all the way to Therodos, which is... not closer. Well, he can go 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way up to Goodwater from here. But in here we have the Dominion 10 instead of Dominion 9, so presumably Therodos would be even better to call ghosts in. Right. I am trying to forge a Amulet of the Dead in here. Let's do forging. Amulet of the Dead in here to give us Divine Reanimation bonuses. That must be the Divine one that we are going for. That's 2 extra. Oh, the creation of permanent ghouls, long dead and soulless, is enhanced by this amulet. And undead priests. You know what? I don't trust that. I will research it for the next episode, but we will prioritize an E4 instead. That also frees up a hammer that we can then use for other things. So let's do it like that. Let's do a forging thing in here. We do want more dancing tridents, so that's probably what we're going for. Dancing shield is nice. The amulet of solid air is something that I want. Maybe that's where we start. Dancing trident. We'll go dancing trident. Yes. Okay, so we've changed something already. Then we're forging a dragon helmet without a hammer, so they cost 3 gems. We're paying 2 fire gems for that. That's fine. We don't really have anything to use fire gems for, so we don't mind spending an extra. We're doing 1 black steel helmet as well, because it's just 1 gem. We're not actually researching with any of Caballeros, which is kind of interesting. Then we're doing Dancing Trident, yeah, and then Frostbrand and Sword of Swiftness, just to have some more weapons. I think Frostbrand is a all-round better weapon, but for Sword of Swiftness will be better against the dragon specifically and some of the larger units that we're going to encounter soon. And we're getting a Girdle of Might in here that I want to put on our Catarrides then when they move out, and a Ring of Ensnaring Flames, because we are in fact starting to encounter some stuff here that's all the forging. So let's talk about what the enemy is doing. We've seen these 2 armies move out. He's making careful movements, not exposing his new fancy troops that I have now looked up on the Mod Inspector. So we have Demons of the Heavenly Fires. Demons of the Heavenly Fires can they both punch with a fire fist in melee, and then they have 10 ammunition of a fire ring, I want to say, something like that. It's like a short-ranged... I wonder if you can see it on the model. Yeah, it's not really super clear, but these little ring thingies here are fire ammunition that they can throw. So they are ranged infantry that throw fire attacks, and that's of course magic damage, so they can slaughter ghosts, and they're sacred. And they have 24 hit points, no protection. It's going to be an interesting thing. They're definitely good for countering ghosts. Up here we have a different type of demon. We have Demons of Heavenly Rivers. Demons of Heavenly Rivers are these ogre-like demons that have this great club. They hit really hard. I think I calculated it must be 27 damage, blunt damage, which is of course a little bit scary. They're also sort of tanky, and they're sacred, so they have regeneration. It's gonna be worrisome. So we do have to be very careful moving forward. Alright, with that in mind. let's talk about what I am doing for movements. Let's start with Therodos. We're moving out from Gargaros. I noticed a very shifty mechanic here. We're moving to Erisia, and we're going to claim that from Lombardia, and from Emmerich, and from Therodos. So all of these troops are coming in. Melite is the oldest Hecatobrite that we had in Therodos. You recall that I said I would want to move the new Hecatobrite to Faraway Sea, but then I realized that we have a Hecatobrite right here that can just walk home. She's got no army with her right now. The army is running around doing other things, the one she had. And, she's in a unique position to just go up here, take these units, and then go to the Faraway Sea and then be the new dancer here. So we might as well move out from the Therodos then with the new boots that we've crafted, and then we can support the army. And we're doing it like that. She can move 27, and Gargaros can move 20 and carry the troops to Erisia. If I give the same troops that he can carry with movement 20 to Erisia, and I give him to her, to Melite, then she suddenly cannot go there. And I'm assuming it has to do with one of them being floating and the other one not being floating but having higher movement. So for some reason, when she has floating units, I don't exactly understand why, but at least we can make it work like that. But she would have given them higher, morale, so it would have been nice. But she will pick them up when we get here. We're moving in. We also have Osomene. I've updated all the scripting of all spellcasters. So we have Boarskin protection for giving our units some better protection. Barkskin to our units, and then she's doing regeneration to support them. She doesn't need to do self-protection because she has actually some decent protection. So she should be able to tank an arrow or two, and then she might even hit herself with regeneration. Hopefully she will, and she'll finish off with Moss Body before advancing and spelling. Then 2 Battle Rhythm in here. I also do 1 Clash of Symbols just to make sure we hit as many as possible of our sacreds. Alright, and that's in here. You know what, I'm going to push the whole thing a little bit back, because we have a tendency of having them run up front despite my best efforts. Push the whole thing a little bit more back. And this guy is here to, if the dragon comes in and attacks rears, he will attack this guy first. 1 more hold. Yep, and you can attack even just to participate in the fight. So that's in here, in Erisia. We are claiming 1 territory. And then from, let's see, from Genport, we are now going with everything we had in here that we're just defending the new fort construction. We actually have quite a decent army here, and it's moving to Verdlin. To Verdlin, I've updated the spell scripting, and I've given, I think it was Pontoporais items to Liu Sip, who is the heroic melee we had. So she's got 29 protection now. It's gonna be a nice little thug, and she's got a thuggy script and then a martial dance to move forward and attack. And we've got mirror image protection, one more that is gonna thug a little, and then 2 melees that will be blessing. Hopefully that'll be enough of bless. We'll see. Fill up the guard commander positions, so we have as many as we can that stay back. We can in fact do it to you too. Why do you have these? Oh, because I wanted to send you to a different spot. I forgot. And I think I will go back to that. Oh, we are. Huh. Nastis is moving to the Far East Sea. So who's coming in here? That's Alpheus. Alright, he's coming from the Pharaohs. He took whatever ghosts we had in here and will be reinforcing the army up here because he can move a little bit further. Then I'm also sending out Polemelos here. Polemelos. With the 5 Korribans that we have recruited. He is going to move out. He's on retreat, and they are on retreat. They're going to move up to the Bountiful Land. If they encounter anything here, it will be a dragon, and I just want them to run away. But otherwise, if not, then they can unite with the army in Scythia after the fact. and that'll be a-okay. So our next move from here will probably be up to Scythia, and then he will move over, and then he's going to be doing the, once he gets there and will join the army, he's going to be doing the summon earth power, and then the plan is to have him cast Strength of Giants in here, or with that army. So we hit harder, some spell support. I'm trying to move out some more spell support. On that note, we are also moving out Arnos here, who's an Air 2 and Earth 2, and also a Water 1. He can't move very far, but he's going to move up and start maybe positioning himself to support the army as well. I'm thinking the Dactyls will actually be quite nice battle mages was what I was going for. Yeah, I hope that's an okay plan. I think we need more spell support in our armies if we are to win this whole war. So that's why we're doing those things. From Goodwater and from Thing Woods, we are moving into the Grain Gate to, I don't think the guys from the Promised Land will dive into the Grain Gate. That seems like a foolish endeavor, but I don't know where else to put these guys. This is Kalianasa and her troops, and they will be united with Minishto in here, and form a new army that will then probably move to the Promised Land next turn. I don't want to do it right now. We'll see what happens this turn. The Pretender is moving to Mountains of Evernight. This is a move that I don't think he can or will predict. So he's going in here with a new script, Summon Earth Power, it'll give him one more protection, I suppose only. I was thinking he would give him 5, but he already has the 4. But he'll go up to 1 in Earth Magic, and then he will have more reinvigoration as a result, so he never fatigues out. He shouldn't. I think after that he will never fatigue out, right? So that's sort of the idea behind that. That'll make him take less severe wounds. The major issue with this is that we have these Demons of the Heavenly Rivers right here, and if he moves like everything into the Mountains of Evernight, we might lose the Pretender, but also we might not. They are not poison immune. And his Prophet isn't poison immune. There's a lot of things around here that is not poison immune. I'm actually kind of hoping that he moves in a sizable stack, but hopefully not enough to beat us. Summon Earth Power, Personal Regeneration, Mist Form, Astral Shield, and Fire Shield is the script. And he's unfortunately still got the Never Healing Wound, so it's iffy. It's iffy, but we will do it because from here he can, I think, reach Nifl. So. And then I would hit, probably not if he takes Olontova, but if he doesn't, then I think we can move to Nifl. Maybe even, so like right now we're moving through Promised Land by moving, I guess, around, or moving through, I'm not sure which one he's actually going for, which is the shorter path. But we might be able to, well, we can't move around here, so he would have to move through on enemy controlled land. He's got move 31, so he might be able to do that. Not sure. We'll see. I don't think he will move to Olontova because he sees this army here. But he might gather those armies up here. I think he will go for Wicker Woods, if anything, and maybe even Kepria. Maybe he just will take a defensive stance, being satisfied with having expanded a bit. He might move into the Mountains of Evernight. I think he will move into the Promised Land as a counter move. I think that's his move here, is to just garrison here, or even go to Thing Woods as a counter thing with maybe bringing the dragon, something like that. I don't think he will expect me to come to the Mountains of Evernight at all. That's what I'm hoping for. And it'll be like nice little surprise attack over here. And we are uniting these two armies in Obershin, finally clearing out some of the last independence in this area. And then from here we will think about what we're doing. We are testing Copper Woods just to see what's in here. We have, very interestingly, Burgermeisters and Earth Gnomes and a huge Crusher and a Sorceress. So it's not a no-brainer to take it. We will test the territory to see what's in here exactly and form an educated plan based on the intel. Same in Barmot. I'm just poking him, both to annoy him a little bit, also to let me know like what kind of PD he's using in here and whether or not he's patrolling. And that may change after he sees the ping, but yeah, it should be fun. And like we have so many spectral commanders, I'm trying to figure out what to use them all for. Speaking of, I was going to test in here. I'm not sure why I'm not doing it anymore. We'll do it again. There. Also to see his PD, and then the PD might go up because I'm testing it. But it's sort of a fake out. We might go to White Lake or Stinging Swamp after the fact. We're moving down to Shem over here to see whether or not he controls Nom. Yep. This guy is just moving around picking up troops. Then I think we've been through all of them. All of the movements. Yeah, so lots of stuff happening. We're attacking 1, 2, 3 territories. Taking a new one. And we might lose a few as well. He's got at least one army here. Like this whole eastern front of his is pretty strong. I don't think he's got that much on the west side of his territory, and I've got quite a strong army moving out here. And we have this army positioned here that can easily swing west if needed to support here. If he does move into Grain Gate, I think we would beat this stack. Yeah, for sure. So, oh, and I had an interesting little thing that I discovered that I didn't know. The Amazons and Nightmares that we defeated in here can both be recruited. And the Nightmares are sacred and have fear. And they would be enlarged by me. So I think this is something worth recruiting. Not only that, they have special commanders. They have a priest level 2 with a death random and an earth random, which is quite nice, and an onyx sorceress with both earth and death and a chance for an extra death. I think we have found our next fort location in here. I would also like to fort Lombaria, and I would like to fort Nifel when we get there. Of course, there's so many. I would have more theoretically fort everywhere, but this is a nice fort location. This is a nice fort location to threaten or to secure 2 thrones nearby, is the thought here. Same as we are sort of threatening this throne indefinitely by having a fort right next to it. If he ever claims this one, I will continually harass him and not allow him to ever build a fort in here. For sure. So he's got 1-2 thrones inside his territory that he can maybe reliably hold. The rest of them sort of are in mine, because Nifel will be mine. He has dominion in here, though, which is worth noting. Oh, we will not. We will not be blessed when we go in there. But it's going to be such an easy fight. It's not a problem. It is not a problem. No. It's fine. We don't need those things to take that throne specifically. After the throne is down, or cleared, we might need to throw in some armies, which is why it's nice that we have this little army dancing around it, so we can move in, and then we need to... Probably this will be the first fort, because we need to fort that ASAP once we've got it. Just defend it, build a lab in here to have the pretender sit in here a bit again, maybe bounce him out once or twice, we'll see. It's gonna be tricky. I really want to claim that throne. But he may have to fight some armies first. I think he can... If we lose him here, then I don't know. Then we are royally screwed, to say the least. Yeah. I mean, that can't happen. That can't happen. So let's not even consider it. And then I think we are through the turn. More Hecaterites coming in here. That'll be what we're going for the rest of the game. These guys as battle mages. I mean, they are sacred, but they can't bless other units, so they won't be the main battle mages. They never should be. But we can throw some in for good measure, having some high-level earth mages. There was others that I could have gotten. We could have gone with a higher level earth mage. I'm sort of half a mind to move him to Doferis at some point and then start casting the Headless Men, which is quite a nice spell, but we do have the Earth Gem problem. I am prepared to, at some point, just start alchemizing the entire Astral Pearl Reserve. I didn't alchemize anything this turn, but to, for example, get that construction thing here, the rebuild Colossus, I will probably just when we unlock it, we're just Astral Pearling the whole thing, or alchemizing the whole thing to get that. That I think is a decent enough investiture of our gems. It's just one mage turn to spend a lot of gems into something really powerful. Yeah. Other than that, I don't think I have anything to say, so I'll end the episode just on that note. Thank you guys for watching. I hope, again, that I know I say it every time, I hope you are enjoying it. And that's it. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.